everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Slimming Surgeon podcast. I am your host, Dr. Candace Kickler. Today, I have a very good friend with me, Mikerlange Barthelemy. He was born and raised in Haiti. 15 years ago, he became an equestrian Olympic trainer. He left his home country to move to Wellington, Florida. So he's around the area locally. And shortly after that, he pursued fitness as an athlete, and it's very fitting. Once he started working with LA Fitness, he started meeting a lot of the local equestrian riders in our area, and a few of those riders started working with him, both by word of mouth and just by his amazing training and connections, and that's how he got more involved in the Wellington community. Today, Mikerlange, or as I like to call him, Mike, is one of the most, if not the most, sought after fitness trainer in Florida and throughout the equestrian community globally. Mikerlange launched Limitless Performance, so look that up, Limitless Performance, in 2017 after working personally with the equestrian athletes in the Wellington, Florida area. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Candace.
I'm so glad you're here today. We've been talking about this for a while, and we finally made it happen. This is a busy man, you guys, so to get him on my schedule, we had to align our calendars.
Yeah, I mean, we had to really, shape up the calendars and figure out some times to fit it in. But, you're a great friend, and I love what you're doing, so I'm happy to support.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But today we're going to talk about you. So I want to know a lot of things. We kind of had a list of things we're going to talk about with you guys so you can get to better know Mikerlange, how we say it the professional way. And that way you guys can really understand the essence of what he's doing in the equestrian community, in the fitness community, and really get a glimpse of that. So tell us your fitness philosophy, or like what you think about fitness and how your training goes.
Really, my thought and process of my fitness philosophy is pretty simple. I think it's, consistency, hard work, and it also translates to yourself with your daily stuff that you do every single day. So for me, it's more like getting up every single day and get it done, So, and I feel like I was telling somebody recently, and we were talking about life and everything. So I feel like being in fitness ever since I've been involved in it, it changed my life in so many ways because it made me more disciplined and made me more aware of certain things in life and also in business-wise and my professional level. So it's like, some weeks you're up, some weeks you're down, some weeks you're up, some weeks you're down. And if your diet is not aligning and if your sleep is not aligning with your workouts and stuff like that, you're kind of thrown off. So just like how life works, sometimes life hits you with the rock and then you got to go with the punches and you got to get back up and, get yourself in the swivel and get back to the top. So for me, my fitness philosophy is really hard work, consistency, and, staying faithful to the grind. And I translate that to my daily life routine and work.
I 100% agree. You're not going to get to the top by a miracle or by pure luck. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And it's not only how you look, but how you treat other people and, the dedication that you put into everything you do. And I find that the most successful people are also very healthy and in shape because they realize how important that is.
Yeah, I mean, I just finally seen that the last probably 8 years or so. A lot of people that are, super, very impactful in the world and or, top wealthy people in the world, they now make fitness part of their life routine. And I think now fitness became, something that people are more aware of because everyone is now more involved. Mm-hmm. And I was told before when I was a lot younger and just getting into fitness, I was told that there could be a recession, there could be a crisis in the world, there could be anything, but fitness will never die because we all need it. It's something that we need. It's a necessity. And once you make it part of your life, part of your daily routine, and, it becomes one. And no matter what's going on in the world, some individual like me, I'm probably never gonna give it away. So that's really where my relationship with fitness comes in.
I love that. And I was listening to a podcast of like a major thought leader, personal development coach, guy like that. And he said, when he's going to do business deals or when he's going to make an interaction with someone who's also very high profile, immediately, if the person he's working with is fit, it just gives them an edge. Like it puts them above. It gives them this different status versus someone who may have the same exact resume, but not at all take care of themselves. So it really, speaks to your discipline. It speaks to your character. And I think it can take you to the next level if you maintain that really good health and fitness status.
Yeah, totally agree.
So tell us again, I kind of gave like a brief overview, but I want to know how you got started really with deep diving with the equestrian community.
This story, I always get asked about it, and I love to kind of touch on it because, like I said, it changed my life. So really how I got started is when I started working at LA Fitness. I was like about 19, still going to college. My goal, just like every guy is from high school, is to try to play football and be a professional athlete. And at the time, my mom was like, you're crazy. You just moved to the country and like you barely speak, too much English, and like you think you can do a different sport. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
So long story short, I got hurt probably like a year later. And but that's when I really started like kind of getting into like learning how to take care of my body. I've always worked out. When I was in Haiti, I used to work out with bricks, lifting bricks up and, a lot of heavy metals. And so when I got into the U.S., and it was just different field. And so during that time I got hurt, I just kind of like really got back into working out. And I got a gym membership, and I was like, all right, I need to get in shape. And then like 2 days later, I'm in the gym. So one of the managers in the gym just like, hey, you look like you know what you're doing. You want to work here.
Nice.
So this is where it started, know. So shortly after he said, I'm like, sure. I had a different job also at the mall. And so I didn't think twice. I'm like, 2 jobs can't hurt,
Yeah.
So
double the money.
Exactly. So I went and I applied, and the next morning I'm sleeping because, when you're in college and you're like, you don't have class certain days, you sleep in, right? So normally I don't get up till like, when I was in college, I didn't get up till like 8, 9 o'clock. And then my phone was ringing at like 7 a.m. I'm like, who's calling me at 7 a.m.? And I looked, it's the manager from LA Fitness. He's like, hey, I like your interview, your application, and I want to get you in for an interview ASAP. Can you come in at 9? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I jumped out of bed and I kind of just got ready and went there. And then after that, walked in and I got hired. So I felt like everything was it was a start of a life change for me. Mm-hmm. And so shortly after that, I started, a month later, I started meeting a bunch of people wearing breeches. And I'm like, this is a weird fit. Like,
yes, isn't it? And sometimes there's some hay hanging off the edges. Exactly. And you're like, what is going on?
So they all were wearing, this weird outfit, white and then brown bottom. And I'm like, this is really different. I've never seen something like this. So I started training them, and because I was a training manager at that time there at LA Fitness. And after my first person that I trained, and then the guy was like, so you ready to train me tomorrow? I'm like, well, when you buy a car and then you get a test drive. So I just gave you a test drive of what you're going to get from my trainers that works at LA Fitness. And he's like, well, I'm not signing up because I don't want to train with them. I want to train with you.
Yeah.
So I said, what can I do to make you, enjoy your experience here and sign up? And then he goes, well, I want to train with you. That's the only thing you can do. So till this day, I still remember his name. We're very good friends. I get a Christmas card from him every year from his family. His name is Steve Heineke. So
shout out to Steve.
Yeah, long story short, Steve started this, Mm-hmm. So long story short, it became a word of mouth. So Steve went and told one of his friends, like 2 weeks later, hey, I got this great trainer. He's kicking my butt. I'm always sore, mm-hmm. but I'm enjoying it. So another week, I get another Steve's best friend. And then that guy turned into become one of my best friends. And then we're still good friends as well. And that person started spreading the word, and it just became word of mouth. And the whole time I'm just like, okay, this is weird. So now all these people want to train with me. So like I would sign them up with the company, and then after like they're done with their program, they're like, look, I don't like this gym. I can only come here for you.
Yeah.
So you got me here, sign up again for another year. you know, so it was just like, one after the other, and the next equestrian, the next person that rides. And now I started working with, people that are getting ready for the Olympics, and I don't even know,
Right.
So Robert's partner, who is a U.S. equestrian coach, started seeing that I built a great relationship with his partner, and he goes, well, I got something better for you. We do the seminar with the Team USA, and I would love for you to do, to work with those young future Olympic riders. And we do it every single year. He does like a mastership program. So then I started working with all these kids every year, giving my time. So it was like a whole week long, 6 a.m. in the morning. So I do it before I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And now those kids, I'm their trainer now.
Yeah.
And so after doing that for 3 years for Robert's partner, it turned into something else. Then they got me signed up for a U.S. equestrian trainer program, physio program, that I had to fly to New York to U.S. equestrian headquarters for like 2 days, and it's like a hands-on program and working with them.
Wow. So really learning like the mechanics of everything they're doing.
And learning with hands-on with the guy that works with the team. And so I saw the avenue, and I had my dream. Once I started loving fitness, I'm like, I want to have my own gym.
Yeah.
And so I just learned more about the business of fitness through the company that I was working for, because the best way to learn business is to work for a corporate company that's done it well for so many years, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I was at a point where I could leave if I wanted to, but in my mind, I'm like, why should I leave now and start something just because I have my ego is telling me, hey, just do this right now and then you're gonna be successful. But I went the long way, so I waited. I worked for like 6 years to learn all the ins and outs and figuring out what clients didn't like about the company, why they didn't want to go there all the time, and see what I could turn into something positive into my business, and also figure out what could make the trainers happy, because a lot of trainers didn't like working for them. So I had to figure out how I could turn that into a plus. And just like the atmosphere, how could I make a better atmosphere for people that works with me? So and also for the employees and the trainers. So I kind of went back and drawing board and kind of put in a thought process and really work into like seeing that vision into what it is now. And now I'm in a place where I'm really happy, that I did that.
And very successful.
Thank you. I just give all that is just because of God, and I put my faith in Him, and I'm very grateful to be in a place where I can work with some, special people like that that ride horses, and some special human being, So just being in that place is something that I'm grateful for every single day. I don't take it for granted. I wake up every day and just keep going harder and harder. I don't get complacent.
Yes.
So
that is so important.
I work on Sundays if I have to. As long as I'm not on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm working on Sunday, baby. Just call me.
Exactly. So tell us, like, you've got your gym in Wellington.
Yeah.
And you have a second facility.
Yeah.
How are they different, and where is the second one located?
So the one in Wellington is strictly training, and we have massage and chiropractic work, and then we got a PT as well on site.
Okay.
And so we do the recovery and the PT. So it's really private. So we don't have like, open gym where people can come and work out by themselves or whatever.
Right.
And the one in California and Palm Springs, well, it's in Thermal, California at the horse show. So it's literally picture this table at the horse show, and it's like right in the middle of the horse show. So like that one is a semi-private facility with my memberships as well for the riders.
Okay.
Because some riders have their parents, their cousins that come in and they want a gym to work out. So we offer a membership program that allow them to come in and work out by themselves. And we have a trainer there as well. His name is Devante. He runs that for me. And we have a Pilates instructor in there.
Nice.
We got a Pilates room. So next year we're probably gonna add yoga to it.
Okay.
And do some collab work with some of my Nike friends, like that are trainers through Nike Collective, and we'll kind of like bring that energy and that fitness energy back to the West Coast as well. It's gonna be fun.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking about all of this, and I know where you're probably going to go with this question, but where do you get your drive and your ambition?
I mean, this question is really simple. I get it from my mom. As a young man, I grew up, in Haiti, where, I was really raised by my mom. So I've seen her every single day go hard. Every single day, she never gave up. She had unattainable dreams, and she reached all of them. She worked hard. She was always, putting all her sweat and tears into things that she needed to do to make sure her family's good, make sure, like, I went to the best school, make sure I had food on the table, and make sure, like, I had clothes to wear, and I had no worries, So growing up, and I look into, like, my past, as, like, I was getting, younger and my mom was raising me, I'm like, well, if everybody in this world had a mom like mine, they'll probably be different and have different, ambition and drives in life, because it takes a strong woman. I'm sure you could tell, you know that as well, because you're a mom. So it takes a special kind of woman to kind of, be a mom, be a father and advising you and kind of keep you on the swivel, make sure you're on the right path. So I give her all the credit, and I just thank God, because it takes a lot.
That's amazing. It's such a great story, because, and not saying you came from nothing, but like people can come from almost nothing and reach those quote unquote unattainable goals. Goals are only unattainable if you let them be. You can do whatever you want as long as you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally how it is. A lot of people don't understand, like, the mind is such a powerful tool that we have. Anything that you put in your mind and you go and say, hey, I'm going to get this done, you're for sure going to get it done, because it's in your mind every single day. So I don't care where you're from, what's your background. As long as you have a good character and you know what it is to work hard, you can get whatever you want any day.
100%. And like you, I'm a woman of faith, and I think God also plays into this 100%. So tell us, like, I love following you on social media because you post a prayer pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
And I think that is just so refreshing, because you don't see that every day. But it also is a testament to your character and how important that is in your life every single day.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little more?
Yeah, I mean, God plays a huge role in my life. Like, I could tell you stories, but the one that always sticks with me the most is that when I was a kid, before I went to school every single morning, my mom would make sure I go to church every single morning. If school was 6 days a week, then I was at church 6 days a week. And normally my school starts at like 7:20, so we'd leave the house at 5:30, 5:45, and we get to church. The church was literally like maybe like 3-minute walk across the park from my school.
Okay.
So we'll get to church by like 6:10, and then I stay at church till 7:10, and then I just go right into school. So again, my faith in God came from my mom. She instilled it in me, and once your belief is there, and you got a heart and your character is there, the belief in God is really simple, because when you pray and you see the things that God saved you from, or the doors that God opened for you and closed, because because of your faith, it really. So for me, even if I'm on vacation, I'm posting my prayers. I'm not, I pray every single morning before I leave my house or while I'm driving, because that part is very important. I won't pick up a call if I'm praying, because that's important.
I love it. It's really, really, really great. I'm trying to instill the same thing like with my kids. And I think that's so important because a lot of people have lost this today. It's sad when I see people who were raised with faith, but then they don't pass it on to their children. They're too busy, or, it's not their priority anymore. They need to focus on this instead. And I think that's like the worst thing that you could do.
Yeah, I think it's complacency, man. I think some people too, if they're raised in a good family, they don't really understand that there's a reason why your family was good.
Yes.
Somebody was praying.
Yes.
So for me, I want to teach my kids, when I have kids, the same thing.
He's available. I actually don't know that, but I'm saying he's available.
Yeah, single and free, stress free. But yeah, so for me, I just want to, put that into my kids' life, and even, with my significant other. So it's really something that's really a huge part of my life, and I feel like it gets bigger and bigger every single day, and it's a relationship that's unbreakable. Like, you can't really take that from me.
I love it. So I want to get back just a little bit to some of the fitness stuff. This is like such a great conversation, but I have on my notes because I want to stay on task a little bit so we don't go over time. But why do you think, because you've not only trained a lot of people, but you are friends with a lot of people who are athletes. Why do you think some of them succeed for the long term versus those that like fall off or quit too soon, or maybe, it's no longer their passion? Like, what do you think differentiates those people who are the long haul, the athletes for life, versus those who are not?
That's a great question, by the way. I think there's a couple of reasons. There's this is a good topic because, there's some athletes that struggles with, for instance, somebody like me. Like, I'll take an example, right? I definitely had the potential to be a professional athlete when I was younger, but I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough opportunities. Like, I didn't have anybody that believed in me. I only believed in myself. So, again, there's some athlete, even if they make it out of college and they get drafted or they go to play professionally, sometimes the support system is not as strong because you're living in a world where everything in this world is about who you know. It's not what you know. It's really who you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like they pick and choose, sometimes. And also some of these athletes too, when they see that other people are picking and choosing, it's kind of demotivating. It doesn't really make him want to keep pursuing it. Some of them, it really make him go harder, you know. For some of them, it's like a slap in the face. Hey, especially in the agency side, you got agents that gets paid to recruit certain athletes and to not work with this certain athletes, or to work less with this guy and work more with this guy, because they get a kickback from the league or they get a kickback somewhere. So you have it's a lot of different variations of issues that's in it. And, I know because I have athletes that sometimes go through it. And for me, it's sad, because, I know a lot of people, and I feel like if I was able to help all my friends, that are really talented and get to where they need to be as an agent, it would make my heart smile.
Right.
But some people, they're just not driven by that. They kind of like, okay, yeah, this guy's 27. He's on his way out. Next one, let's work on the younger one. But a lot of times you focus on somebody else that's coming up from the draft or that's supposed to be talented. And then tomorrow they go and do something stupid, and then there goes your hope.
Right.
So for me, I think it's something that I think people need to do better. You know, it leads into loyalty and consistency, and leads into faith. You know, having faith in somebody until the last man standing, and being consistent at what you do for them. Like if you know they're struggling, they need support, and like maybe not financially, but they need somebody to talk to. 5 minutes a day, just give them a call, chat.
Yeah.
See what's going through their mind. Maybe they want to kind of phase away from playing sport and get into business, or like guide them. So for me, I feel like sometimes in the entertainment industry and the sports industry, a lot of people kind of take advantage of good and hard-working athletes, and sometimes these guys, they just get burnt out, and they like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend, her son got drafted into baseball, and he was like, or he is really, really good, but not necessarily as well connected as some other people. And he was projected to be like, you know, number 1, number 2, coming right out of high school. But then the day the draft, it's like number 1, son of so-and-so, number 2, nephew of so-and-so, you know, like all these names and the connections. And it's like, man, you hate to see that, because, you know, like, yes, I'm sure those kids are good as well. And they've got, you know, every access to every trainer and every opportunity that they need and want. And they're probably amazing also, but it's also, you got to believe at some point there's a little nepotism there, and just like the stuff that shouldn't be still happening, but it does. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad when you see it. It's kind of like, okay, this is just a wasted talent. You know, it's just
Yeah.
That happened in baseball. It happened actually every sport you could think of, even if in the equestrian industry. I know so many very good riders that don't have the support system.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no way a sport like the equestrian sport shouldn't be like on television. It's a multi-billion-dollar sport.
Right.
You know, so there's no way you shouldn't get like endorsement deals like Nike, Adidas, like, you know, Reebok. Let's go to the bottom of the freaking brands. Pardon my language.
No, it's fine. This is a R-rated podcast, X-rated, whatever you want to call it. Like you can say whatever you want.
New Balance, like, come on, you're gonna get your name on a freaking horse, like your brand on a horse, and you don't want to. And it's an Olympic sport, like,
yeah.
And there's talented people that do this stuff and that put sweat and tears into it.
Not to mention, it's pretty dangerous.
And it's very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Not just pretty dangerous. Yeah, like you could get paralyzed, you know, just the second. And it's a risky sport, but like there are people that are talented that goes to the top with it. And just because there's most of the people that do it are wealthy doesn't mean you shouldn't, you know, help the ones that are coming from the bottom, because they have the potential too to be wealthy. We all got it. 100%.
So
I love it. So I want to touch on like connections and people skills. How have you, like, you obviously communicate very well and you have a lot of connections and you are relatable to people, all different kinds of people. How do you, like, is this something that is just a gift? Is it something that you've worked on? Like, what do you think is the key to making successful relationships with people? There's no right answer.
There's no right answer to that, but I actually had to work a lot at that.
Really?
Yeah, because so going back to when I worked at LA Fitness, mind you, my English wasn't as good.
Okay.
So that was one of my biggest fears, because like I had a little heavy accent. Uh-huh. So I used to be scared to have conversation with people. Like,
sure, yeah.
I would think people would make fun of me, because, when I was in high school, people used to be like, damn, you got an accent, boy. I'm like, okay, I know. So, so when I worked at LA Fitness, one of my managers, I was his assistant, so he was the director, right? I was the assistant director. So every morning he would make me go upstairs and like the cardio deck, to talk to every single person that are doing cardio. Wow. Every single morning. And it used to be one of the things that I used to not like, because, once you're walking upstairs and there's 20 to 30 cardio equipment. Yeah. So I have to have at least 30 to 40 conversations. Wow. Every single day. And I had to do it. at least 4 or 5 times a day. Because there's different times the gym is busy. There's different time people show up to work out. So that's one of the exercises that I did growing up, or like in my early days of working in the fitness industry, that got me really comfortable having conversation with anyone. Because on those conversations I was having with those people on the treadmill, I met people that were wealthy, people that just got out of college and that's looking for a job. I met, people that was going through divorce. I met I met people that just was having a bad day and that needed to get uplifted. I met, kids that were having a bad time at home and they just not happy with mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And going up to the cardio deck was my job to like help make their day. So practicing that every single day made me really comfortable having conversation and even having uncomfortable conversation with people, because some people too that are doing it at times would think that I'm trying to come to sell them.
Yes, and they would like treat you bad, maybe.
And they would treat me bad. And I'd get people that gets really like, they give me a little attitude and what do you want? Like,
right.
And my answer to that, if it's in the morning, I'm like, hi, good morning, how you doing? And then they go, what do you want? I'm not buying training. I'm like, I was just coming here to say good morning. I just want to check in and see if I could help you with anything in the gym.
Yeah.
And then that turns their head around and they go, wow, this guy's really not trying to sell me. And then that same person, I end up selling him the same week, 3 days later.
Yeah.
Because of how I went with the conversation. Because if I went with a defense mechanism, then they would be like, all right, it would turn into something else. But instead, I learned how to figure out what I can do to help people. So if I can figure out what I can do to help you and you believe that I can help you, then we're going to get somewhere.
I love that. I feel like everyone should have growing up, I feel like everyone should have a job like where you're talking to a lot of people, whether it be sales in a gym, whatever. I worked in retail at Gap. You remember the Gap?
Yeah.
It's still there. It's still there. But I worked at Gap and I had to try to they had me trying to sell credit cards. That'll make people mad because they'd be like, why are you trying to take my money? And all these things. Why are you trying to put me in debt? And so that was challenging, but fun because I also got rewarded if I made sales. So it was like a challenge for me. And I also worked in a gym selling memberships. I worked at Gold's Gym. And
good old Gold's Gym.
Gold's Gym. I loved it. It was tough because there are a lot of people who just hate you just by looking at you, just because of the shirt you're wearing that says Gold's Gym, but it did teach me exactly like you, how to approach people, how to kind of let them get their guard down or how to like disarm them and open up the room for conversation. It's hard, but that's a huge skill. Like if you teach your kids anything, it's teach them how to talk to people.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to have conversations, and like, and especially the uncomfortable ones, because they make you better.
Yeah.
So I'm never afraid to have conversation, even if there's like a heated moment with a friend or something. I'm not gonna be shy. And matter of fact, I don't want to text you. Let's meet up and have a conversation. Because I think it's always the best thing to unite people or to like brainstorm or to even evolve, conversation. So this is really how I really learned how to like make conversation with people, and like, that's how I met you and your husband.
I know. What's the story? You tell the story. You remember?
It was a funny story though. It was back then. How many years ago? Like 10? It would have
been like 2015, maybe something like that. Yeah.
I remember. So it was a Sunday after polo.
Yeah.
And back when the pavilion used to have all the after parties, and I think I was with my friend John Bostic, that is a retired NFL player now, and we were just sitting there, and then for some reason, Nick said something.
My husband.
And talking about somebody that's not afraid to have conversation. It's Nick.
Yeah.
Nick will have a conversation. And then he goes, oh, you got somebody famous or something? Because like I see everybody saying hi to you. And then I'm like, I'm not, but this guy is. And then he goes, I think you're the one that's famous because everybody's talking to you. I'm like, I don't think so. So after we had that conversation, we now, really close friends.
Yeah.
And Nick is one of my very close friends. You're also a very close friend of mine.
Yeah.
And
it's so funny.
I'm really grateful for that friendship and that conversation because we've been rocking for a very long time.
Yeah. You never know when you're going to meet somebody like that could change your life.
Exactly.
That could help you in some way, or you can help them in some way. So I'm always open to new connections, and I think that's important too, to be open.
Yeah, and one thing, talking about open new connection, I'm always open to connection, but as I got older, I'm also...
Well, you also had to have boundaries.
Yes.
It's like a balance. Yeah. Open, but a little bit closed.
Yeah, open, but very, how you say that?
Selective.
Selective, yeah. I'm really selective with my friendships now. I'm selective who I have conversations with because now we're getting older, and the only thing that the most valuable thing we have right now in life, this exact minute, is time.
Yes.
And now I'm really, really aware of my time.
Right.
So back when I was a lot younger, maybe I wasn't really aware of it. And I learned this not too long ago, but through my mentor. His name is Ali Davudi out of Houston, Texas. A very good guy. But he said something that really stuck with me. And he said, I'm not living here to work or to be worried about going somewhere all day and night. He's like, I'm here so that way I can make the best of my time.
Yeah.
And so that really stuck with me. And he said to me, he's like, I want to be free for the rest of my life so that way I never have to worry about the time.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's something I'm really aware of. And I try to be every day, I try to be very intentional. Like everything that I do, like my friendships are intentional. That's why we're here.
Yes. And I'm so thankful.
Me too. So if it wasn't somebody that I was, close with and cared for, I'd probably tell them I'm still working.
Yeah.
Which I really am working, so.
Right.
But I'm intentional with my friendships, intentional with my work, my clients, people that I care for. If I care about you, everything's intentional. I'm not doing nothing half-assed, and because life is short, and also our time is very valuable. So for me, it's all about intentional friendships and everything, even in business. If I'm doing business with somebody or we're doing something, it has to have good intentions, because with no good intentions and your intentions, all spread out, it doesn't bring good energy and good things. So I really try to be really selective now, and I've walked away from a lot of friendships and kind of, stay away from things that could kind of disturb my peace. I'm in a place in my life where I'm not letting nobody ruin my peace.
I love that. That's a goal.
Yeah.
That's a goal. So to speak on that, mentors and business partners, like, what do you look for? Like, how can you tell, or what are maybe some red flags? Like, oh, this is not going to be good. Like, this is not somebody I want to work with. Or, yes, I feel like this guy's got good energy, or this girl, what is kind of your filtering process for that?
For me, it's really simple. I just act dumb all the time. I just got to keep it honest.
Yeah.
I always act like I'm stupid and I don't know nothing.
Uh-huh.
And one thing about being smart is being able to be in a room and act like you're the dumbest in the room.
Uh-huh.
Because that's when you realize who is smart around the table and who is not. And, when I mean dumb, not like doing anything crazy,
of course.
But like just acting like you don't see, if somebody poke a hole in that water bottle, just act like you didn't see it and see if they're gonna wipe it down.
Yes. Right. Right.
If you poke a hole in this bottle and you didn't wipe the water that's spilling on the table, I would know that you're kind of negligent, right?
Uh-huh.
Or like messy.
Or sneaky. Yeah.
So for me, I don't say anything when I see things like that. I just take notes and and I'll know I'll be like, yeah, this person is not meant to be, in my life or meant to be hanging out with or around. And just kind of distance yourself.
Yeah, they say people will show you who they are, so believe them.
Yeah, so it's really simple, just really by acting like you're not as smart and just acting dumb.
Because you could see who's going to take advantage of you that way too.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I have these problems in my life.
Nah, you just gotta just play dumb.
I know.
And you're gonna realize, you're gonna be like, all right, time to kind of flip the switch.
Yeah.
You can only get enough, get so much of the same thing and same reactions from certain people. So, even with my clients, with work, I always play dumb. But there's one point when it comes to my work, I care about them, so I'm gonna say something. Yo, you've been slacking.
Yeah.
It's not okay for you to just eat bad every single day and maybe eat bad on the weekends. So
right.
it's just when it's time to say something that way, I will. But when it comes to people that I interact with, if I feel like they're in a place where you maybe shown them enough or done or advised enough, then when it comes to a point, just whatever make you happy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're in control of your own peace. A lot of people don't know how important that is. I had to learn that, and learning it, I really made it a priority. So I could sit at home on my couch with my dog and be happy. Mm-hmm. That's how much control I have of my peace. I don't care to go out. If everybody's out having a blast, enjoy.
No FOMO for you.
No FOMO. I'm a no FOMO guy here.
I love it. I feel like you have really, grown and evolved through the years, as have I and Nick and everybody. And it's important, when you are moving and growing and evolving, to also surround yourself with people who are doing the same. It's hard to be really close friends with somebody who's stagnant and not enjoying your growth. So being with people who are going to uplift you, I think, is important for also helping you keep your own peace.
Yeah, very.
Okay. 2 more questions. Well, kind of one. Okay. Plans for a new location? Are you going to give the people more of what they want?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Definitely. So this is how I want to show you how God works, right?
Okay.
So ever since I built the gym or Limitless, I've always said that, I never care to be in Miami. I don't want to have a gym in Miami. I don't want to have clients in Miami. I don't care. And I had probably 4 months ago, and New Year's, when New Year's started, we're in April, right?
Yeah,
almost 4 months ago. A friend of my best friend that does business with him reached out, and he goes, hey, I want to have a conversation. So it's really rare because we talk, but I don't really see him out and at dinners and say, hey, what's up? I keep it really respectful and kind of straight to the point.
Sure.
And he's like, I want to have a conversation. Can you meet me? So because he's connected with my best friend, I said, sure, let's have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So I went and met up with him, and then long story short, we had a conversation. He's like, would you mind coming into Miami and partner up with me in this project? And I said, let me think about it, So I prayed on it, and I really put some thought behind it, and I did a lot of research before I did it, and I made the decision. So now we're about 4 months away to having a Limitless Miami location, 13,000 square feet.
Whoa, that's incredible.
It's going to be probably the most beautiful Equinox version you would probably see.
Incredible. What area of Miami?
Edgewater.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. And is this going to be kind of where people can get memberships?
Yes. So it's going to be different from the other 2 locations.
Okay.
So it's going to be a location where that has everything and all in one.
Okay.
And you're going to have your towels when you walk in. You're going to get, our We're gonna have crowd therapy on site. We're gonna have also a spa section. We're gonna have a pickleball indoor court. So it's gonna have everything, and obviously memberships for clients or members that just want to come and work out. So yeah, it's gonna be something very special. So I'm putting a lot of effort and thoughts to this, so that way it comes out really incredible.
It will. I mean, I've seen not only your Wellington location, but the photos and everything of the Palm Springs location, and it's like everything you touch turns to gold. It's beautiful.
I mean, I wouldn't say me, but first
you and your friends.
First I put God.
And God.
I always pray that God touch the project before I do.
Of course.
And second, without the people in Thermo at the horse show, at the Desert Horse Show, Steve, who owns the horse show, and a partner, so it wouldn't be possible. So it's a lot of good people and good energy put into all of them, and in order for you to grow, you have to be able to, to look outside the box and try to, put yourself around good people that has your best interest and their best interest, and to have a good heart. So for me, I go with the heart. I follow, what I feel inside me, like my gut feeling. And if I get a bad feeling, I'm not doing anything. And so far, I haven't got any bad feeling. As long as you're protected, you protect yourself. You know what I mean by that. On the paper,
yes.
You got a good lawyer, and everybody else is protected, not only you.
Right.
And the relationship is there. There's no greed.
Yes.
Everything has the potential to be very successful. So that's really how you make things happen. It's not really just me.
Yeah,
the first one is just me, but
a lot of it's also you.
Thank you.
All right, I love it. I love it so much. So, Mike, tell us how people can find you, Mikerlange.
Oh, wow, I'm pretty good at saying my name.
That was good, right?
Now.
I've been practicing.
How many days did it take you to say Mikerlange?
Your name is in my phone as Mikerlange, but it's hard to say. Okay, tell us where people can find you. Where do you want people to connect with you?
You can connect with me on Instagram.
Okay.
_Mikerlange.
Okay.
And you can connect with me on via email. That's also on my Instagram link. And you can also connect with me via cell. If you go on Google, you find a number to reach me.
Okay.
If you look up Limitless Performance. Yeah, I mean,
perfect.
Really, Instagram's
the place.
Yeah, it's the place because I stay active on there because it's really how I work and do things. So really, and one thing too, I want to say, a lot of trainers that wants to be great at what you do, the consistency is on how you market yourself. Mm-hmm. You've known me ever since you know me. I've been posting my workouts every day. I post my clients every day.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's really so you have a free tool. You got to use it. And it's social media, because you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who you're uplifting by what you post and what you do. Especially you as a surgeon. You're one of the best surgeons here in town in Palm Beach or Florida, right?
Right.
So it's the consistency of what you're posting, your clients' results, and your work, and how you educate people on what you're doing that's going to get you to the next level. And I see a lot of trainers that's trying to do, the same thing. And my advice is the same. Just, show that you're putting in the work, because nobody wants to work with nobody that's not putting in the work.
Correct.
So it's about showing and being able to showing that you go out and battle just like your clients would, because somebody on social media ain't gonna DM you about training if they don't see that you're working on yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. This was an amazing conversation, top to bottom. We covered everything. I want everyone to follow you. So I'm going to put your Instagram handle on the show notes. So if you're listening to this, look on your app and you'll see his account where you can follow. If you haven't already, while you're there, leave me a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, we need 5 stars. Do they have 10 stars?
No, 5 out of 5, but we get 5 every time.
Yeah.
That's it.
We need 5, and maybe 5 people on the same every 10
yes.
seconds.
Yes, that'd be good. Stars. Exactly. So anyways, thank you so much, Mikerlange, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Everyone's going to follow you, and equestrians especially reach out. If you haven't met him, I'm sure you already have, but he's the guy to know to get you on your game and to the next level. So thanks, everybody, and we will be back next week.